Hi guys, my name is Nico, I'm from Germany and today I'm going to guide you through the installation process of NetLock RMM server on Windows. Let's jump straight to the requirements. Taking a look on the software requirements, we need to use Windows Server installation. In our case it will be 2019, but it can be newer of course. MySQL Server in minimum version 8.0, a domain for SSL encryption, in our case Let's Encrypt, because you're going to use Let's Encrypt integration from NetLock. Hardware, 2 cores minimum and 4 gigabytes of RAM, depending on how many devices you want to monitor. Let's go straight to the installation. Just some general information. We are going to use the NetLock RMM basic server concept. I'm not going too much into detail right now because if you want to learn more about the server concepts, you can take a look on the documentation and rules and server concepts. Just a quick summary, what you can actually do is splitting the NetLock RMM backend roles into different kind of backends, so you have a better performance and security depending on your environment. But for this installation, we are going to install the NetLock web console and the server on the same machine. First, we need to download the ASP.NET Core runtime to our server. So we copy this link under System Requirements, then go to our server. I'm just going to use Firefox for now and download it. After it has been downloaded, open it up, execute the installer, accept the terms of service and install. Now, after installation process is done, we need to install a MySQL server. In our case, and for the tutorial, I already have done that, but you can find instructions on how to do that on the documentation. Then we need to create a database. In our case, we already created it. The database is called NetLock and it should be empty. For obtaining the NetLock web console installation files, you need to either compile all the executables yourself by downloading the repositories and compiling them with Visual Studio or other tools. Or what you can also do, and what is completely free, is to use our members portal. The members portal, you can find more information about it under code signing and memberships, offers the possibility of compiling the binaries directly for you and with an open source membership. So you don't have to pay anything and your data is being kept private. In my case, I'm going to use it now, so I'm going to the members portal. I already have acquired the product. If you don't already have it, go to memberships, then you have their open source, then just click on setup now, click yes, and that's it. Then if you go to my products, you can look for the open source membership, and then you need to reissue the package if you didn't done that already. This will take a little while. After this has been issued, you can just click on download package and re-download the package. After the package had been downloaded, we can open it up in our file explorer, then just extract it. Taking a look now for the web console. So we're going for web console package. We just copy it and upload it to our server. Once uploaded, if you don't have another zipping tool and just the onboard tools, just rename it to webconsole.zip, right click and then extract and extract it. After the package had been extracted, we need to edit the app settings JSON. In this case, I'm going to open it with the simple notepad. If you have another text editor, of course you can use it. Then what we need to do is we need to disable the HTTP feature because we don't want any unencrypted connections going through the console. We just want encrypted ones. So we're going to set HTTP enable to false. Then on HTTPS, we enable this, set this to true. Then leave it the default port. Then you want to force the connection to be HTTPS encrypted, so you set that to true. And the same with HTSD, set it to true. We are not going to provide a custom certificate here because we are going to use the Let's Encrypt certificate. So the next step is we need to define the NetLock RMM remote server and then the NetLock file server. In this case, everything will be installed on one machine, but because I'm going to use the encrypted connection, I'm going to enter my domain now. So it is, in my case, demo, then private 1.netlockrmm.com. The port should not be 7080. It should be 7443 for the encrypted one, and set use SSL to true. The same you can repeat with the NetLock file server. Just let me do this quickly. Set the port again to 7443. Use SSL true. And now we can define the MySQL server. In my case, I already have one installed locally. If you have yours externally, you just need to provide the credentials here. So for me, it's localhost, then a default port. The database is called NetLock, not NetLock Neu. Then the user is called root in my case, and the password is this one. So what we want to do now, because of my MySQL configuration, I want to provide an additional parameter. So I'm going to look for it right now. In my case, the additional parameter will be allow public key retrieval true. This isn't required because otherwise, after rebooting the machine, or better said, the SQL server, I won't be able to connect to it anymore through NetLock. That's why we need to set this. Then we have the Let's Encrypt integration. Enable it, set it to true, accept the terms of service, so make sure it's set to true. And regarding the domain names, I'm going to enter the domain I'm going to use right now. In my case, it's demo private one.netlock.rmm.com. Then you need to provide a mail address. I already provided mine. That's it. Just save the config and close it. Now basically everything is prepared. We just need to execute the console. So look out for NetLock RMM web console.exe, right click, and then execute as administrator. Now that's just a defender doing a quick check, and it's running. What you can see now is that it connected successfully to the MySQL server and created the database and created an username and password. So the default credentials for the login is admin and admin. Also username is admin and password is admin. So what you want to do now is you want to access it. Since the NetLock RMM web console automatically creates firewall exceptions in your Windows firewall exclusions, we can already exit it through our web browser, which is on a completely different machine. So we just exit it. And as you can see, it's already working. What we need to do now is we need log in. Then we need to set a new password. I will just let it be the default password for this tutorial. Then after you set it, you need to log in again. So that's it. We are in our dashboard right now, and then we are going to the next configuration steps. The next step is to provide the package provider URL in the web console. We need this package provider URL for the NetLock server backend roles to acquire and download and host the agent package files to install the agents and updating the devices. So what we're going to do is we go to settings, then system. And after a second, we can scroll down and we can see package provider URL. In my case, it's now right now empty. So I'm going back to the members portal. I just click on copy download link. Then I paste it in here. Of course, you can, if you want, host your package on a different server. You just need to host it and paste in your server address with the zip file. Make sure that if you do that, that the package has the same folder structure like in the members portal. Then click on save, and that's it. Now we can start installing the NetLock RMM server. It's pretty much the same procedure. I'm going to take a look on my packages again. There we have the server package. Just copy it, upload it to your server. I'm going to minimize the web console now. Once it has been uploaded, I'm just going to rename it server.zip. Right click, then extract. Now we need to open the app settings.json. And in our case, we need to repeat the same steps like with the web console. So we are going to disable HTTP, enable HTTPS. Make sure the port is open in your firewall. Then make sure it's forced, the connection is forced, and HTTPS is enabled too. Going down to the vaults, I'm not going to explain you them in details. Like I said before, you can find more information about it under vaults and server concepts. Just as a quick summary again, you can split the server backend into different kind of vaults, which can increase the security depending on your environment or performance. Then we need to provide the MySQL information again. So in our case, it was the local host one, because we have one locally installed, then the port, then the database, it's called NetLock in my case, with the user root and the password. We again need to provide the additional connection parameter, which I'm going to do again. Just going to copy that and paste it in. Then under the tools encrypt, make sure it's enabled and set to true. Then you accept the terms of service and you provide the domain name again. In my case, it will be domain demo, then private one netlock rmm.com. So that's it. We can just save it now. And then we're going to execute it. As you can see, the connection is successful and it detected that there are no packages downloaded yet. That's why it was requesting them now and it successfully set them up. The packages that has been downloaded were the packages that you provided with the package provider URL. So that's basically it. If you're going now to the web console and refreshing the page, we should see the backend connected. And now we can see it. It just popped up here as a new entry. That's the backend. If you host more than one backend, so NetLock server backend, they will all pop up here and you can see more information about them. What you can also see now is that the NetLock RMM file server role is connected and the same for the remote server. So if everything is green here, everything is completely fine. If for any reason the NetLock RMM file server remote server role is not connected, you need to check your configuration again because it will mean that some of the features will not work. That's it. Just for the ending, if you need any additional help having problems with installing NetLock in your environment, you can join our community Discord and ask for help there, or otherwise you can also go to our members portal and just open up a support ticket. And depending on your requirements, we offer either free help or like open source help or paid assistance. Yeah, have a nice one and have fun using NetLock.